there's a peculiar paradox embedded in the human experience. We spend enormous energy constructing elaborate mental architectures around what others might think of us, yet the architects themselves, those whose opinions we fear, are often too preoccupied building their own mental monuments to notice ours at all. The quote suggests that true freedom arrives not through achievement, validation, or accumulation, but through a kind of psychological emancipation, the moment we genuinely stop caring about external judgment. This isn't apathy or nihilism. It's something far more nuanced, the recognition that the court of public opinion has no actual jurisdiction over our inner lives. Consider how much of our daily existence is choreographed for an imaginary audience. We curate our social media personas, rehearse conversations before they happen, and replay interactions afterward, editing our performances in hindsight. We make decisions not based on what we truly want, but on what we believe will appear impressive, normal, or acceptable to others. This exhausting theater of the self consumes tremendous creative and emotional energy that could be redirected toward actually living. The dangerously awesome part of this freedom is crucial. It's dangerous because it removes the guardrails of social conformity. Suddenly, you're navigating by your own compass rather than following the well-worn paths others have laid out. This can lead to unconventional choices, risk-taking, and the kind of authentic self-expression that makes comfortable people uncomfortable. It's awesome because it unlocks a version of yourself that isn't performing or filtering or second-guessing. When you stop asking, "What will they think?" you start asking, "What do I actually want?" And that question has the power to reshape your entire life. This liberation doesn't mean becoming reckless or inconsiderate. It means distinguishing between genuine values, kindness, integrity, responsibility, and the arbitrary social scripts we've internalized about how we should look, what we should want, or who we should become. The former are chosen principles, the latter are inherited anxieties. The irony is that people who achieve this mindset often become more, not less, appealing to others. Authenticity is magnetic. When someone stops performing and starts simply being, they give everyone else permission to do the same. They become a reminder that the exhausting game of impression management is optional. Yet reaching this state is remarkably difficult. We're social creatures, wired for belonging, and the fear of rejection runs deep in our evolutionary programming. The path to this freedom often requires confronting our deepest insecurities and questioning the narratives we've built our identities around. It demands that we separate our self-worth from external validation, a Herculean task in an age of likes, follows, and quantified approval. Perhaps the key is recognizing that most people are far too consumed with their own concerns to devote much thought to judging you. They're worried about their own image, their own failures, their own fears of being judged. Everyone is the protagonist in their own story, which makes you, at best, a supporting character in theirs. This realization is both humbling and liberating. When you truly internalize that others' opinions of you are largely projections of their own experiences, insecurities, and preoccupations, not objective assessments of your worth, something shifts. The weight lifts. The performance ends. And in that space, you discover what you actually think, want, and value. You find your voice, your direction, your purpose. Not the one you thought you should have, but the one that was waiting beneath all the noise. That's the dangerous freedom, living as yourself, unapologetically and without permission. It's dangerous because it disrupts the status quo. It's freedom because it finally allows you to occupy your own life fully, rather than watching it from the anxious distance of perpetual self-consciousness. And perhaps that's the most awesome thing of all, the simple, radical act of being real.